we are here with Chef Mike Andrzejewski.
Andrzejewski.
Close almost.
Yep, pretty good. Well, most people do a lot worse.
Thank you for joining me here in the Right Choice Happenings Realty Media Room. You came all the way, well, you drove from Buffalo, but you're not living in Buffalo right now?
Nope, we're down in Boynton Beach, Florida, just south of West Palm.
Down from Florida. I think you're my first guest from Florida, so that's pretty cool.
It's great to be first at something.
I like it. So we just recently met. I think it was all just 2 weeks ago at the Taste of Buffalo Food Festival.
Yeah, we were introduced by Krista Sechu and Krista Glenny. Sorry.
Glenny, yeah. Yep. Yeah, which is awesome. That was my first time at the Taste of Buffalo. Her and the Taste of Buffalo team invited me out, and we got to meet. That was my first experience there. That's been going on for a little bit too, right?
Yeah, it's been going on for quite a while. It kind of died out a little bit after COVID, but it's getting back really strong. For a while, it was one of the biggest food festivals in the country.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got there, I was like, I didn't know what to expect really. Since I've met Krista, since she interviewed me for the Buffalo Spree, I've really enjoyed talking with her because she's a foodie through and through, and she's pointed me in a lot of good directions.
Oh, she's amazing. She did so much to help our restaurants and the whole food community there. She's probably the singularly most responsible person for what's going on there in the food world.
That's amazing, and that's something I've noticed, which I want to talk more about you, but I'll just share a little bit with my experiences too. I've been doing the pizza reviews and videos. Pizza reviews maybe 4 years, food videos 7 or 8. And one thing with Buffalo is the food community I find is like no other that I found over here in Canada so far. Especially like Niagara, I don't even know what the population of Buffalo is. I probably should, but Niagara is a big area and we've only got about 500,000 people, but it's kind of spread out. But Buffalo seems like the food scene, there's a lot of passion. There's more content creators over there. There's more people, like Krista, and there's magazines, and to me, it's more of a community than what we have over here.
It really is. We've been working on that for years. We've done a lot of things to kind of bring that up. With Krista, we did a great industry night at our restaurants. She did the Nickel City Chef series, which was kind of a chop series with some of trying to push the younger people, the younger chefs, get them some publicity, show what they can do. And it was a lot of fun. We did 10 seasons of that.
Nickel City
Chef.
What inspired? Why Nickel?
Buffalo's nickname. One of the nicknames is Nickel City.
I didn't know that.
The Buffalo nickel from, I think it stopped in the early or late 30s, but it was a coin, and the back of it had a big buffalo on it.
I didn't even know that. That's cool.
So, but she pushed local farms, kind of connecting chefs with a lot of farms and bringing a lot of people together. I've made it kind of a mission a while ago to really kind of push the community. We got some great foods, and one of the cool things about Buffalo is there's so many independent restaurants, and there's chains all over. But any city I've seen, Buffalo has a higher percentage of independents, and mom and pops, immigrant restaurants. So it's a really cool experience.
It is, and I'm really enjoying going around, tasting all the different foods, the community, and everything, and I think there's over 400 pizzerias in the Buffalo area, and it's not just pizza, it's not just wings, it's not just beef on Wex that's good in Buffalo, but like we were saying, the food scene there, it's fantastic.
It is, and it's always evolving. We've got a lot of different ethnic restaurants now. The first ones were Vietnamese, 15 years ago. They were awesome. It was like an enlightenment when I first started trying Vietnamese food, and you have a lot of different Middle Eastern places, a few African, Ethiopian places now.
Ethiopian food is great.
It's pretty interesting, yeah.
Yeah, eat by hand.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because the food that you had at the Taste of Buffalo, that was a Vietnamese burger banh mi combination. Is that right?
It was like a Vietnamese pork sausage, and we turned it into a Vietnamese slider with the banh mi, spicy mayonnaise, the cilantro, the jalapeno, and the vegetable salad on top.
It was delicious. If that was not my favorite, it was right up there from the day. And I wish I had, like, I eat a ton of food, but I wanted to eat even more that day. I got full before I wanted to because there was so much I wanted to try.
It's easy to do. We exchanged with a lot of our restaurant friends and had a lot of samples, and it was like, wow.
Yeah. So, what do you have more alignment with Vietnamese food? Like, okay, let's talk a bit about you. How long you've been a chef? Some of your, I don't even know where to start.
Well, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far away, I guess. I started in 1976 after my junior year in high school at a place called Salvatore's Italian Gardens, and it's a real famous place in Buffalo.
In Buffalo.
Yeah, and the owner, Russ Salvatore, is in his 90s now, and he still works the floor every night.
Come on.
He's been doing it forever.
What's it called? Sorry?
Salvatore's, now his place is called Russell's Steaks and Chops. It's on Transit Road in Lancaster.
Okay.
But he's been a restaurateur and a community force for 60 or 70
Long
years.
time. Yeah.
He's done so much for the community, donations, scholarships, sports things, sponsored the fireworks shows in some of the parks. Just a really big supporter of the whole area.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was your first experience working in a
Yeah,
kitchen?
that was my first. Well, I first started as a busboy. I was pretty awful, but I knew right away that I really liked the restaurants, and it was kind of glamorous and it was flashy and good-looking girls all over the place.
We like that.
Yep. And after about 2 weeks of being a busboy, I knew it was awful and I knew something bad was going to happen. So I got up the courage to go up to Mr. Salvatore and ask him, I really love working at the restaurant, but I don't think I'm very good out here. Could I go in the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, son, it's either that or get fired. So he took me into the kitchen, told the chef, I'm starting Monday. And I started prepping and working the line and doing all kinds of stuff.
How old were you, did you say?
16, 17.
Right in there.
Yeah.
Right around when you get your license.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. So then what did they have you doing? How was that going? What kind of food were they doing there?
It was pretty much classic Italian, spaghetti, fettuccine, surf and turf, really good veal parm, chicken parm.
Nice.
They had great sausage and meatballs.
Nice. So you were working there after school?
Pretty much, yeah.
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 Okay.
My grades didn't go down or went down kind of being there a little later at night and
Right.
kind of sneaking out afterwards with the older guys.
Right, no doubt.
Yeah.
The restaurant scene tends to have a good time after work.
Yeah, I had way too many good times.
So how long did you work there for?
I was there about a year, and it really was affecting my school and getting through classes and everything. So after a stern talking to from my parents, I found a job with little lighter hours. There's a lot of like I said, little local restaurants around, and I got a job in the kitchen at one of them, doing prep, working the line, working Friday, Saturday, chicken wing and fish fry night. So it was okay. I wasn't crazy about it. Then I found a job further out in the suburbs in Clarence. There was sort of an upscale restaurant at the time. Did a lot of steaks, chops, different kinds of foods, nice appetizer selection. And I worked there for a couple of years. After that, I moved on back to the city for a group called Detergent Brothers. And at that time, they had like 12 different restaurants. Each one was different themed.
Oh, wow.
And
in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were some out in the suburbs too, but everything from burgers and chicken wings in one restaurant to fine dining in another one, steaks and chops, really wide variety. And they were a pretty strong presence at that time, so I worked for them at a couple different restaurants.
So one thing, sorry to interrupt too. My geography is terrible. I use the GPS to get out of my driveway, but when I say Buffalo, when people talk about it, does that include things like Hamburg and Tonawanda, North Tonawanda, or is that not Buffalo, or is that not Buffalo proper? Or like
it's not Buffalo proper, but when we talk about Western New York, it always seems to go to Buffalo.
Right.
Hamburg is the South Towns, Tonawanda, North Town is the North Towns.
Right.
And after that, it changes to Niagara County and Niagara Falls.
Right. Yeah, see, I'm not the greatest.
I grew up a little east of Buffalo, a town called Lancaster,
Right.
and my mom still lives in the house we grew up in, uh, and it's pretty cool place, really comfortable, nice area.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Because when I think about Buffalo and all that stuff, because people ask me too, my favorite pizza. It's like a common question. And like I have my favorite pizza over here. It's the Lock and Pork Holborn. And then my next one over the border is at Pizzeria Florian in East Aurora. And then people say East Aurora. I'm like, Buffalo. I'm like, it's half hour over the border. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's Jay that started Jay's Artisan Pizza.
Yeah.
The
okay,
guy's
so you know.
incredible.
Yeah. Isn't he?
And have you been to Jay's Artisan and Kitchen, the original
Kenmore?
one? Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. The wood
Yeah.
fired and the Detroit style pizza were excellent.
Yeah, the Detroit blew me away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with those pizzas. And when I had went, he had already sold it. And I don't think Pizzeria Florian was open yet. So I was able to try, I guess, a legacy place there. But yeah.
Yeah, Joe over at Jay's Artisan that bought it from him is
He's doing great
just
work. Over there.
really great work, and he's so passionate about his ingredients, what he's doing, getting the word out there about the pizzeria, and he's got a lot of really kind of national, international awards for it.
Yeah, yeah, he does. And Jay, yeah, it's great. I haven't met, you said the owner's Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't met Joe yet. I've met Jay a couple times. I've been to Pizzeria Florian a couple times. He did one or two reviews with me as well. And like, he is super smart. He's like, I've done close to 800 pizza reviews, and like, he's the most well-versed pizza maker that I've met. Like, he's taught me so much every time I talk to him. I can't even remember all that he's told me, but
He's amazing. He started off with a food truck and a wood-burning oven in it, designed everything by himself, and it was like a revelation for people.
yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And actually, it's interesting because I always tell people he's the smartest pizza guy I've met, but I just recently met somebody else that it'd be interesting to have them both sit down together, where Chef Daniele from Italy. I don't know if you've seen that or if you've heard of him.
It's one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Italy, Chef Daniele. Yeah, he's from Italy. He was in St. Catharines just last week or 2 weeks ago. And like, he's Italian. So his English and my Italian, his English is better than my Italian for sure. But like, I watched him make a couple pizzas. I did some reviews with him, and like, holy cow, talk about attention to detail. Like, some of the things, like, I'll just tell you too with the pizzas, I'm sure you appreciate, is like, he had made on one of them a roasted red pepper sauce instead of tomato sauce. He had porchetta on there. I don't even know how porchetta is made, but I know you don't just whip that out in a couple minutes.
No, that's a long process.
Yeah, he had roasted potatoes that he had done with like white wine, garlic, some olive oil and salt, and like, roasting potatoes 6 times. So like, all of it was like unreal. And I think I shouldn't even say this. I'm assuming he makes pizzas like that back in Naples, but I don't even know if it would be feasible trying to do it here, because that pizza, how much would it cost? Like $30 maybe for a personal pizza? Because like, the labor in that thing is unreal, right? Like,
that's a lot of different techniques and ingredients.
Yeah, and like, there was parm, and then like, I don't even remember all this stuff. On one of them he had prosciutto that he had like crisp up, like everything. He was torching the cheese. Like, that's what I mean. Like, fantastic, but I don't know how practical it would be here. I don't know if he's serving those in Italy or if those are just like competition pizzas. I don't even know, but yeah.
Kind of sounds like he was having fun instead of doing the usual things.
Right. Yeah. So that was just interesting because, the people I've got to meet since doing pizza reviews, now like you and different chefs, like it's interesting to see the different passions and, approaches. And because, I've been to tons of like chain pizzas where, it is what it is. It's cheap. And
yeah, if you're in a jam or later at night,
and
gotta have something.
Yeah, and there's tons of people, like, they're there for a reason and they're successful for a reason, but it's two completely different things. Going to a chain where they're just putting out a product, they're making money, right? Versus where people are making a living and they're passionate about it. It's two different things, that's for sure.
It definitely is. And there's a lot of restaurants in general in Buffalo that have that passion and really care about what they're doing, or show their heritage, or really put their heart and soul into it.
So I interrupted you too on your career path. So that what you were doing that at, what was that, second place?
There was a small restaurant outside of Buffalo, not far
Gotcha.
from our house, called the Foxcroft.
Yeah.
From there, I went out to Clarence. It was a historic, like a legacy restaurant called Coachman's Inn that was around since like the 40s. And it was a pretty standard menu, but we did a lot of grilling, a lot of roasting prime ribs and lamb racks and things like that. So I really kind of learned how to be really accurate with that. There were nights we did 300 steaks.
Holy.
And
I've never made a prime rib before, and I've been getting into smoking steaks. How's a prime rib done? How's that?
And generally, it's like it's like a ribeye, the roast that the ribeye comes off of. You can get them bone in, or bone off. And generally, when I do mine, I'll season it like the day before I cook it. And before I roast it, I'll bring it out of the oven for a couple hours so it kind of gets to room temperature and it heats easier. And then just really slow roast it, 325, 300 for a while.
What's a while?
Depending on the weight of it, it could, about hour and a half to 2 hours. So you want a medium rare.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's one of my favorite cuts of beef.
Yeah. I've been toying around. Just this table too. I mentioned to you the one out there. My buddy that made this one as well. Same one, Malcolm Fonhill Milko. I'll give him a little plug because love the guy and he does great work. But we've been doing steak night after the gym on Thursdays, and we've been experimenting different ways to cook the steaks, different cuts. Like we tried sous vide, we tried barbecue, we've tried smoking, we've done some on a cast iron skillet, different seasonings, salting it, different aged. We've been experimenting a bit over the last few months, but trying a prime rib would definitely be interesting. And yeah, I kind of really like ribeye steaks, but also I eat so much food. I've been trying to eat the leaner cuts too, which I also do really like. Like I like a New York strip a lot.
Yeah, that's one of the classics. I mean, tonight I got a dinner, so I got to cook for some friends, and we have a couple of 1 pound Australian Wagyu cuts.
Ooh.
They look gorgeous, so
Yeah,
pretty excited about those.
I've never had a Wagyu steak. I hear they're really rich.
They are really rich. The real Japanese stuff it's indescribable once you taste it, and it melts in your mouth, and this super rich, clean fat coats the whole inside of your mouth and your palate. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, 1 pound of that might be a little much though, no?
Well, we're splitting it between 6 people.
Yeah. Because I feel like when I look at it, I feel like when I have it, I think I'll like it, but I also feel like I won't want to eat a full pounder. Maybe a few ounces.
Usually about 4 ounces is pretty good for just about anybody.
Yeah, it's more of an appetizer than the main course, or depends what you put with sides.
It does, but it's so special that usually it's like at the end of your meal. It's the last thing you have because everything else builds up to it.
Right. Interesting. See, and when we do steak nights, I'm good when we do it just the boys. I'm good with just meat, right? Like sometimes they like a little bit of sides or whatever, but I'm really trying to watch what I eat because I've been a big boy a few times, right? Because food takes over my life. But yeah, with me, I'd probably do it different just because 4 ounces wouldn't fill me, and if I wasn't doing more sides, I'm just talking at home. At a restaurant, I'd let any chef figure out the best way to do it. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, definitely, it would be the highlight of the meal for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We have a place down in West Palm called Palm Beach Meats, and the owner's one of them. His name's Eric, and he's like a true expert. He's one of the 5 people in the U.S. that is actually certified by the Japanese government and the Japanese agriculture department to sell the Kobe beef, and he's been educated at the farms and the processing houses. And every time I talk to him, I learn so much.
What's his name?
I don't remember his last name, but it's Eric. Eric.
Yep. Sorry. Where does he live?
But right now they live in Orlando. They've got 2 shops, one in Orlando and one in West Palm. It's Eric and Megan, and they're just really cool people and really into what they're doing.
Interesting.
And the stuff he brings in is just amazing.
Yeah, eh? Yeah, that's interesting. The only times I've ever had Wagyu is in burgers, and I don't know. And I heard that sometimes it's not always real. And like now there's like Japanese, American, Canadian, all these different
Yep.
things. Like I'm not an expert like that at all. Like,
Generally, anything outside of Japan is crossbred with something else. Like the American stuff is crossbred somewhat with Angus beef, black Angus cows. I imagine that a lot of the places in Australia and Canada that really do a lot of it have some of the same process.
see, like it's interesting because like myself, like I don't even consider myself a pizza expert. Like I eat a ton of pizza, but like you've made pizzas before too, right? Or is that not been in your realm?
I've made them when I was younger. I worked in a couple places that had them, but I'm definitely not an expert.
Right.
You know, I can make the great toppings, but the dough and the baking part of it, it's really a science.
It totally is. It's science meets art meets passion. Yeah. But with that, I was just gonna say like with steaks, like we've been cooking more and I've been learning more. But it's interesting because I've had before like a really expensive ribeye that is delicious, and then I have from a grocery store or not a grocery, a butcher, a lesser of a cut, and sometimes I like it more. And it's like I don't know, like not that I don't like this other one,
Right.
but I'm like, it's interesting, like just because something might be better. It's the same thing with pizza. It's subjective,
It
right?
definitely is. Lately, I've really liked hanger steaks and skirt steaks, and just for the fat content, the different texture.
Right.
They seem to be really beefy.
Right. Yeah. See, and skirt, and what was the other one?
Hanger steaks.
I don't know what that is. What's that?
It's kind of an offcut. It comes from the front inside of the steer.
Interesting.
It's was a while back, probably 15 years, 18 years ago, kind of a new cut that was developed by some of the meat people, and it's gotten like really popular. Hence, the price went through the roof.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. See, like I'm only paying attention a little bit more now with steak night to different prices in different places and everything. And like if you've been in the industry, restaurant industry, I'm sure you've seen different fluctuations with that. Like, well, first thing I think of, I remember my dad came over to Canada, I don't know when, in like the 60s or something. He told me that he used to get chicken wings, I think, for free or close to it.
Oh my God, they've gone through the roof.
Right.
When I first started cooking, they were like 80 cents a pound, 60 cents a pound on sale. You know, you had to split them yourself, but it was really like an off part of the bird that, you know, they were happy to get rid of.
Right.
And the more and more places that opened up, the national chains that do them, it's impossible to, unless you're charging a lot or selling really big volume, it's really hard on restaurants.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what's interesting with all of it, right? Like all the foods go, I shouldn't say all, but there's cycles or different times of popularity. Because for sure, if something is cheap, at some point people start to figure out a way to, how can we buy this and make money from it and make it good? And then when it catches on,
then it goes up. Right now, live lobsters are the cheapest I've seen them in years and years.
Really?
Yeah, they're under $10 a pound for like fresh live Maine lobsters.
Why do you think that is?
I can't really begin to guess. I think that they cut down the fishing for a few years, like the quotas. So the population's grown a lot, and they're able to get a lot more lobsters. And sometimes when things are high for a long time, people get shell shocked.
Yeah.
They don't want to buy them. And they change their menus or change their eating habits. And then when they have a lot of them, the price goes down.
Yeah. So it goes through a cycle. So right now is I love lobster. So right now would be a
So
good
do
time.
I.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. I'll have to see where I can get some and make some or go have some somewhere. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. A little pivot on the steaks. So you're back to your career. Where from there?
From there, well, it's a long time ago. And I'm trying to get it in like chronological order here.
Yeah, it's all good. Even if like you want to pivot to maybe some where somebody that had a big influence or impact on your
Wow.
career.
Okay. Actually, from there, I went to a restaurant that was in downtown Buffalo, on top of one of our highest buildings, the M&T building,
Mm-hmm.
and it was called the Plaza Suite. And at the time, it was like one of the upper echelon places that looked over the whole city. It was a beautiful place, like really
Nice.
kind of a upscale service, French influence,
Mm.
really, really nice. And it was kind of the first time I worked in some place like that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it was a struggle. The chef was really hardcore. He was European trained, and he was Middle Eastern from before he went to France. And he was pretty hardcore.
Knew what he wanted.
Yeah, and he knew when you screwed something up, and he wasn't kind about it.
Right.
But I kind of learned a lot of classic stuff there. I can probably make crepes faster than anybody you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to make like between 300 and 600 every day.
Wow.
If I ran out working lunch, I had to take them for the night from the night guys prep, and that didn't go over really good either. So I kept up on them. Learned to finish sauces, make a really good hollandaise, because I was slapping it together when I first got there, and the chef didn't like that at all, and he'd stand behind me and really kind of rip me a new one whenever I screwed it up or it wasn't to
Right.
his taste.
So I've heard that working in restaurants like that can be really difficult with chefs like that. So is that something that was a benefit to your career, or was it like, how do you draw from that?
At the time, it was
A nightmare?
it was hard, and at 21 or 22 years old, you're still kind of cocky, and I thought I knew things, and my saving grace that I was very fast,
Right.
but I didn't have a clue, to be honest with you.
Right.
There was just so much out there and so many better ways to do things than even to this day that I'm still learning stuff every day, every week. And the guys that were the really hardest, really are still like friends, still people I respect. And, I owe them a big thank you for pushing me and, taking the time to teach me the right way to do stuff. I kind of use that as motivation and I'll show you type mentality. So
for up and coming chefs, would you say that's a good learning experience to go work in a spot like that with somebody like that? Or
the culture's changed a lot over the years, especially after COVID.
yeah.
The kitchens are a kinder, gentler place for the most part.
More appreciative.
There's a lot more interference with HR people and what you can and can't say, or language and hours and everything else.
Right.
And to a point that's good, but to a point it's like giving somebody a participation trophy. It's harder to push people into excellence. It's harder to get the best out of them.
Yeah. It's a balance. It's a balance.
It is. As a leader and as a chef, it took me a long time to learn better ways to motivate and work with people. I had a lot of my moments as one of those kind of guys, and over the years it kind of mellowed out and tried to be a little bit more of a mentor and a leader.
What I've learned myself too, sorry to interrupt too, is as an owner of my company, is when I'm training, mentoring people, is learning what style works for them. Because myself, like I run a really small company, and it's super important to keep quality of service as high as possible. Like that's how my small company has grown, is organically by providing what I think to be much above average level of service. And that's hard to teach because
really people have to have some commitment to hospitality and a respect for the guests and what we're doing as an industry and a career. Feeding people and getting them through their occasions and everything from business meetings to engagements and weddings to funerals. I think is a pretty noble profession and a pretty good way to make a living. But if somebody's going to be in it for a long time and successful, they've got to have that mentality to begin with. And, once they get there, we can kind of teach them skills.
What's like I was touching on there, how different people learn differently. What are some of the approaches that you take when you're teaching people to work through helping them improve? Because I think that's, because everybody, like what you said, you're always learning. We're all learning. And when you're helping people trying to get up to at least a standard.
Well, first off, like I said, they have to have that in them. And one of the things that seems to work the best now is like teaching them things, like challenging them so it's not boring, so they don't feel like they're working in a factory. Like even if you're not doing that like every day on the line or on the menu, bring something in, show them, let them work with something, tell them to make a special or come up with an idea, and we'll work on it together.
Nice.
And that works pretty good in our restaurants. And we ended up with a lot of really loyal people. People that stuck with me for 5, 6, 7 years. Really cared about the place. Really learned a lot. Taught me a lot. One of the first really great employees I had, 2 of them. One was a student of mine when I was teaching at the community college over there. And at first I thought he was really kind of cocky because he really didn't talk to a lot of people. He just did his stuff, and he did everything better than any other person in the place. And started talking a little bit, and he was working on some student cooking competitions, and gave him a few pointers and stuff, and offered him a job, and he kind of politely declined or whatever. And one day he came into the restaurant riding on his motorcycle, and just looked at me over the sushi bar and said, "Okay, I'll take it." and he was with me for like 6 years, and
oh, nice.
Everything this guy did was just great. From knife skills to sharpening his knives to rolling sushi to plate presentation. He just had a knack for it, and he really cared about it. He tried, practice on his own, made stuff up, came up with ideas for sauces and garnishes and things. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Is he still in the industry now?
He is. He got married, had a couple kids, so he's working at as an executive chef for one of the bigger corporations in Buffalo for the like upper management, president, and things like that.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
He did really well. And we had another guy that when I first started C-Bar after I came back from my motorcycle accident, he was working in the restaurant next door. They were kind of connected. We subleased a spot from them. And he was like 16 years old, and he'd come over on his days off or when he got early and just said, "Oh, can you show me some of this stuff? Can I learn some of it?" And he was really just like naturally wanted to do this. Never had another job. Did some really good work, and he went away to culinary school. And when he came back, I hired him full time at our downtown C-Bar, and he was with me for about 4 or 5 years. Then when we opened the Italian place, I brought him over as the chef. He's Italian heritage, knew a lot about it.
Right.
And he was still like 23, 24 years old, and did an amazing job. He, naturally kind of read people and could get the best out of them.
Nice.
And he could be real hard when he had to be.
Right. Well, that sounds like a good mix.
Yeah, I wasn't afraid to be that guy,
Right.
This is our business. These are our customers. They come first.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, you're not going to last.
Yeah.
But he's still there. I sold my half of the restaurant, but I made sure that I got him included, so he's a partial owner now.
Nice.
I gave him a percentage of my stock or whatever in the company, so he could stay there.
Nice.
And he really took the reins. They have almost twice the space now. They have 2 catering venues in Buffalo that he runs.
Oh, nice.
And just naturally a smart guy.
You mentioned culinary school. Did you do culinary school along the way?
I started at a community college for a culinary and food service program, like right after I got out of high school. And I didn't really do too well. Those 8 o'clock in the morning classes were not for me.
Not my favorite either.
So kind of bailed out after a couple semesters. And
yeah.
A couple of years later, I went to a restaurant management school outside of Buffalo, Villa Maria College. And
yeah,
I was a lot more serious and a lot more dedicated, and I did really well there.
So you learned a lot more practicing than schooling.
Yeah, I had a lot of great people teach me a lot of things and kick me in the butt when I needed it.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, like, school's just like a foundation anyway. I don't know, like, I've never gone to culinary school. I've done a bunch of regular schooling, but I learn better when I'm I call it in the streets doing stuff versus
It worked really well for me, but I was very fortunate to work in some of the best restaurants and some of the best owners in Buffalo
right.
that really took an interest in my growth and my future and what I was doing. They put up with a lot of my extracurricular mistakes, so to say, and a lot of the things that caused a lot of trouble
Right.
for both me and eventually them. But
Right.
they always stuck with me and gave me the training and the firmness, and it was amazing the people I worked for.
That's awesome.
How many mentors or how many places that really made a big difference in my career.
So what was the first restaurant that you opened up?
The first restaurant we opened was called Tsunami on Kenmore Avenue in Kenmore.
Tsunami.
Yep.
Okay.
And it was
And you say we. Who's we?
myself, my wife, and my partner was Vietnamese,
Okay.
and we had a big cross influence of like Western techniques, a lot of flavors. We did a few really great Vietnamese dishes. It was a really varied menu, and it was really kind of a different thing for Buffalo. So it was casual, but it was like really great fine dining service, an excellent wine list. Changed the menu semi-seasonally, did a lot of specials.
What were some of like the staple meals?
And one of the most popular things was we did a pad thai with tempura lobster.
Ooh.
That was pretty awesome. And one of our appetizers, we did like a dim sum selection, which we just got crushed on. So we did like 3 stacks of the dim sum basket with a different.
What's dim sum? I'm not even sure.
It's like the Chinese dumplings and the little like tasters. And when you go to a dim sum house, they come on the bamboo baskets that are stacked up, and you can order as much or whatever as they bring them around.
So dumplings.
Some were dumplings, some were tempura shrimp, some were stuffed.
Okay.
Different things. We had like a repertoire of like 30 some
Okay.
standards for it.
Yeah.
But we sold so many of them that we couldn't store the baskets in any place, so we had to design these racks that came down from the ceiling. You slide them out from the bottom, and it was a great appetizer. People loved it, but we didn't really take into account that you're not making one appetizer; you're making 3 of them for every plate.
Right.
So, it worked out, but it was a hustle to keep them stacked up.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, we had a really great duck dish with a Vietnamese kind of lime chili sauce on it.
Ooh.
My wife was doing desserts over there, and she did an awesome job. Did some Hawaiian influence stuff. And she used to do a creme brulee tasting with 3 different flavors on it that was out of this world.
Nice. Yeah. That sounds good to me. I had Vietnamese last night for dinner. I took pho or pho.
Yeah. When I first tasted that, it was like an epiphany. The flavors, the fresh herbs,
Yes.
and the sweet spice sour. It was just wow.
Have you been to Vietnam before?
No, I haven't.
No? Yeah, I'd like to try going over there to see what it's like. I haven't been to that part of the world at all. Like Vietnam, I don't even know if it's close to Philippines. And like, I haven't been to Asia yet. I'm supposed to be going.
Me neither. I've been to Hawaii many times, but it's really not the same as Japan or Vietnam
Right.
or China.
Yeah, right. I think we were talking a little bit about spam.
Yeah.
In different ways.
Yep.
You said there's some good ways to do it. I've had limited exposure to it, but I'd like to see some different ways of having it. That's for sure.
When I was on the Food Network, Beat Bobby Flay, I did a dish, and the base of it was spam fried rice.
Yeah.
And luckily, one of the judges was a Hawaiian background.
Oh, nice.
And he just loved it.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So that was the first restaurant, Tsunami.
Yeah, it was a really cool place. It really kind of made a mark in Buffalo, and I had the motorcycle accident 5 years after it opened,
Nice.
and I was out for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the hospital for like 2 months, and then there's like another month before I could really perform anything useful. But the first thing I did when I got out of the hospital was go into the restaurant and clean some fish, just because I had to.
Right.
And it was probably more harm than good, but my soul needed it.
Yeah.
So.
Do you still ride a motorcycle after that?
And, I didn't for about 4 years, and then I really missed it. And I finally talked my wife into letting me
Yeah.
get one.
Yeah.
But she said, no more sport bikes, no more fast. You got to get a Harley Davidson. And I said, oh, okay, honey. And I got a big Street Glide, and
Nice.
I just sold it about a year ago before we moved, maybe a little longer, but before we moved to Florida.
Nice. My brother's got a bike. I'm too scared.
I'd really love to get another one, but
Yeah.
the traffic down there where we are is just crazy.
Yeah.
It would be pretty dangerous, but I don't know. I may or may not get one in the future.
The thing with down there is that you can ride all year, versus
Exactly,
up here
yeah.
it's a shorter season.
Yeah, a lot shorter.
Yeah.
I used to ride mine till the first snowfall and then store it. But
Did you ever come over to Port Dover for Friday the 13th? You guys know about that at all?
Is that the big bike night?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I had the sport bike, we used to come up here every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been, but like Port Dover, it's about an hour from here. And every Friday the 13th, even if it's winter, I don't know how many guys go in the winter for it, but yeah, the bikes get together and go down there. It's a big thing.
Yeah, there's another place up here that used to have a good bike night too, and I can't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm. It's all good. So you got in that accident, and then Tsunami was still there?
Yeah, we were there for about a year. We were struggling a little bit financially, and then we had that surprise snow and ice storm in October, and the building was severely damaged. Part of the roof caved in, and
oh wow!
Between that and where we were financially, it was just time to close it.
Mm-hmm. So what was next after that one?
From there is when I started going into teaching, and worked for about 4 or 5 years at the community college, running, teaching the students in the student-run restaurant, kind of running the line and the stations, and teaching them how a restaurant works or how a kitchen performs.
Right.
Everything from how to saute to the teamwork and the leadership, and you're responsible for everybody else, not just yourself.
That's good. Yeah, giving them a little bit more of an insight than just straight cooking.
Yeah, it was a really highlight of their curriculum.
Yeah, I think that would be really useful. I've never taken anything like that, but I think that would be useful. I mean, even like when I went to schooling, I studied a lot of business, but not a lot of it was as practical as would be. So that sounds like some good teaching for the students. Yeah,
we got a lot of really good students out of there. A lot of them are still very good, successful chefs in the area. Some of them went on to different careers in food. It was pretty cool, very satisfying.
Nice. And now you're doing, what's your life about now with everything?
We moved to Florida and helped open up a restaurant for a company that had a couple different concepts, and they wanted to do an Asian thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hired to help do the menu, and we had about 4 months in a test kitchen to develop things and taste things with the owners.
Wow.
We had a Japanese guy for a sushi chef to develop that, and that was pretty interesting seeing how they do it and learning stuff from him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we opened up the Orlando restaurant first, which was a smaller version of what their final product was going to be, a big 200-seat restaurant that, right on, it was in Delray Beach. That was like right on the strip and pretty crazy.
Wow.
I left there on fairly good terms. It was turning in from a kitchen and a chef role to much more administrative and corporate, and
right.
I don't
management.
Yeah, and I don't really perform well there. I want to cook food. I want to make people happy.
Yeah.
So kind of left on a mutual agreement, and the owners were really fair, and left on pretty good terms.
Nice.
I did a few weeks stage in a Michelin restaurant. After that, I took a couple months off just to chill.
Mm-hmm.
Did a few weeks stage in a Michelin restaurant there. That was really amazing. The chef there just blew me out of the water.
Yeah.
The food was so beautiful. And
what kind of food was it?
It was a like a tasting menu. They set 12 to 16 people a night. Everybody got the same thing. It was like 8 to 10 courses, but every dish was just incredibly beautiful looking and presented
Nice.
like uniquely. But everything tasted even better than it looked. And that's really hard to pull that off.
Right.
So I did that for a little bit. Then it was time to go back to work to have a regular paycheck.
Yeah.
And for the last 5 months, I was doing a consulting gig for a restaurant in Boca Raton. Kind of help revamp their menu, just reorganize the kitchen with inventories and product lists and prep lists. Kind of get the kitchen guys back into,
Right.
you know,
Focused.
yeah, focus, caring about the food, being a little bit more meticulous and exacting and detail oriented.
Yeah.
So,
People can get lazy, eh?
yeah, that's what I kind of alluded to before is if you kind of challenge them and let them get a little bit of freedom and show them things, often, that they'll have a little bit more interest in it. But that is a big problem of, complacency and
complacency is the
shortcuts
right word. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, it happens almost everywhere to a point.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you really have to, eternal vigilance.
Yeah. Revamp. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt with that. Yeah.
Well, no problem.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so you're living down in Florida, but you came up to Buffalo for the Taste of Buffalo?
Yeah, I did the pop-up Rockstar Chef Saturday morning. And then the following week, I had 3 private cooking classes at a place in Lancaster that does them on a regular basis.
Nice.
And I had 2 more this week. And it was kind of a whirlwind, a lot of work in a short period of time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So when you did the private classes, what were you showing them? What was that all about?
I've been working with the people that own it. It's Auburn Watson Culinary in Lancaster. And he started off as a contractor for like really high-end kitchens, really beautiful work, great equipment. And he figured out that, if maybe he should hook up all the showroom stuff and turn it into a display kitchen. And he started off probably, had to be like 10, 12 years ago. And he would bring in a couple of well-known chefs and we would do, like a cooking demo and let people do a hands-on course. And it really kind of grew for him into like almost another corporation or business because it was so popular. So I usually do a 3-course menu. I'll give them like a visual demonstration of what to do first, and then turn them loose and kind of walk around and coach and help them and make sure they're on the right track.
That's cool.
And afterwards, they sit down, have eat their food, have a couple glasses of wine, and we talk about what they're doing and anything else in the restaurants they want to talk about.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well,
Yeah, it's a really great.
the last class, what foods did you have them do?
Right now, the produce in Buffalo is really great, so I kind of wanted to utilize as much of that as I could.
Yeah.
So I did a summer fruit salad with like a very sweet, sour lime and Vietnamese influenced dressing, and then garnished it with seared braised pork belly.
Ooh.
And a little bit of a pistachio, almost like a pesto on it for some more crunch. And it was really tasty.
Nice.
The main course, tomatoes are just coming in. They were really great.
Oh,
So
yeah, my favorite.
we did a charred tomato, like a fresh charred tomato and basil sauce on pasta and with a few seared and grilled shrimp. And that was basted with all the juices from the tomatoes after we, seeded them and stuff and kind of reduced it. That was pretty tasty. And dessert was local berries, kind of macerated and poured over a honey corn cake with a little bit of mascarpone cheese and a little bit of lemon oil.
Ooh, honey corn cake. I don't know if I've ever had that.
It's really kind of a sweet cornbread.
I was just going to ask.
And it's a little bit softer and better texture, but it's got the cornmeal and
that sounds really good.
It was really a nice summer dessert. I was really happy with it.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, because, you're right. Right now is the time when things are starting to come in season. Like, I grew up on a farm. You see, I live in a rural area here, so I'm trying to get all the stuff in as much as possible. Actually, today is the Wainfleet Farmers Market, and I'll probably try and squeeze over there to get Strawberries are probably done now, but I haven't been there in a couple of weeks. I'm curious to see what's in season right now.
We had some phenomenal blackberries and blueberries last week. I went up to the Tonawanda Farmers Market, which is like really a true farmers market. It's not a,
Yeah.
people aren't selling candles and soap and anything else.
Yeah.
It's farmers bring their beat up trucks and put their stuff out there.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying like every tomato in the market for the classes, and
Nice.
got a lot of fruit. We had just about everything we needed there.
My two favorite things to eat in season I shouldn't say things I won't eat out of season are tomatoes and corn. And like I'll freeze corn from in season, but like I avoid tomatoes. I can't. I don't know where. Like
The corn in this area is just amazing. It's really second to none.
yeah, so good.
For years and years and years, we used to go to the Eden Corn Festival up here, and it was like just kind of a
Eden Corn
tradition.
Festival?
Yeah,
I want to go to this.
yeah.
It
It's like a local carnival, but they're so well known. Eden Valley is really known for their produce and the rich soil and the the farming there. And they have this giant corn tent where there's boiling ears of corn and giving you slides of butter, and there's salt and paper towel rolls everywhere.
So good.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
So it's funny because I live here in Waynfleet, and there is good corn around here, but not too far. Well, it's about a 40-minute drive west from here. There's a corn farm. It's called Schneider's Corn, and ever since I discovered it a few years ago, I go out there to get corn every year. This Friday is their first crop that'll be ready.
Wow.
And yeah, like when corn and tomatoes are in, like I don't have to eat much else. When I have that, I'll make a meal from either or both. Like I can eat, like I make tomato salad, like with just tomatoes, salt, pepper, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, some vinegar. I'm good.
Yeah, I make tomato sandwiches with, a good crusty French bread, a little bit of homemade mayonnaise, lots of salt, olive oil, maybe a couple of onions on there. Yeah, it's wonderful.
I like that too with some cheddar cheese. You can't go wrong when those are in. Yeah. You're making me hungry.
Yeah, me too. With both, corn in Florida seems to be pretty decent for a lot of the year. I've been relatively happy with it. It's definitely not like the stuff we get up here. And tomatoes, I've been finding some pretty good, like hydroponic beefsteaks. And if you get them and they're pretty ripe, I leave them out for a couple days to ripen them up the rest of the way. And they're acceptable. They're, a good substitute if you're eat them on a sandwich or make a sauce or a pasta with them.
Yeah. Florida's known for their oranges.
Yeah, any citruses, oranges, lemons, limes.
Anything else that's good produce-wise down there? Like that, or is that the main jam is citrus?
It's mostly citrus. There used to be a really big pineapple industry there, but as they developed, the residential and industrial and cities of it, it kind of took over that part of the land.
Interesting.
So that's not there, but there's all kind of things called Pineapple Grove, Pineapple Alley. Kind of a nod to the history of it.
Right. I love pineapple too.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. The produce there isn't all that impressive. You really got to search for great stuff. The farmers markets down there have some pretty good stuff, and there's a few good farmers, but it's not like really abundant.
So when you're down there, do you incorporate some of the citrus into some of the meals?
Oh yeah, you have to.
So what are some citrus focused things down there?
One of the things we did was I'll do a lot of crudos or sashimis and things like that. Crudo. It's it's sashimi from Italy, and it's traditionally served with like fresh basil, olive oil, salt, and lemon.
Isn't sashimi fish?
Yeah, raw fish.
Raw fish, just the
Slice,
fish.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Do a lot of stuff like that.
Marinated or just put it on after?
Put it on after. Keep it as fresh as possible. The fish is great down there, so kind of makes up for the other stuff.
Produce,
Yeah, and then just cutting little segments out of really fresh lemons or limes and popping them on there for a burst of flavor is really great. I used to try to overdo fish and over garnish it, and after a while you taste the fish and it's so good you don't want to cover it up.
Yeah.
Anything with butter, lemon, maybe a little shallots, is really all you need.
Mm-hmm.
You can toss a fresh herb in there, but don't cover up the fish.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. I'm definitely getting hungry thinking about that stuff. Um, so back to Buffalo here. You were there. And actually, I wanted to ask you some tips maybe for somebody like myself or anybody that likes cooking at home. Some things to consider. Do you have like just some general basic home cooking stuff?
There's a lot of them, and it's one of the things that I like to do at the classes I teach. Is like this is how we would do it in a restaurant type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of the most important things if you're working with a recipe,
Mm-hmm.
read the recipe through, get all your ingredients together before you start. Don't read it and say, okay, I need a cup of flour. Okay, I got to go get 2 eggs. Get everything together. Make sure you're measured right. Make sure it's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're doing it, taste it through the process. For salt or sugar. If possible, under season a little bit because you can always add more. You can't add less.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you're cooking, use your taste buds and what you like as your guide. Your palate, what you like to eat might be completely different than the person who gave you that recipe.
Mm-hmm.
So adjust it, trust yourself. Don't be afraid to make changes or, put something you like in there. If you like more garlic, put more garlic in there.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not salty enough, salt it to the way you like it.
Yeah, those are 2 things I love: garlic and salt.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're cooking steaks, when you get them just about to the temperature you want them,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you let them rest before you cut into them. Let the juices reabsorb. Let the steak muscle relax.
That's a good one.
You're really going to enjoy that piece of meat a lot better. And with the prices of it, you want to get all the enjoyment out of it you can.
True that.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff. Yeah.
Everybody has to cook to live, and a lot of times it's just fast meals and things like that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to cook a meal for, once or twice a week to really enjoy it, just take your time, watch the process, learn every time you do it. If you're roasting a chicken, watch, how it browns, read a little bit about basting it and the best way to do it. It's a really satisfying hobby, I guess, or part of life.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually roasted a chicken for the first time not too long ago. I bought a whole chicken from Organic Farm over here, and I'd never done it before. And I got from my mom one of those like cone racks, and I just put it in the oven.
Okay.
And I kept it super simple. I've talked to some people. I didn't know what to do exactly. I've seen a lot of these videos where people use the beer can on the barbecue and stuff. I didn't have it. Did I have a beer or not? I don't know. I used a club soda or something. I put it in the oven. All I did was salt it. I don't know if the club soda did anything or not, but it turned out fantastic. Just with salt in the oven.
Yep.
I don't know how long it took, but when I made it, like I was actually late for an event, and I was going to just take it with me and eat it while driving. It was so good that I'm like, I'll be later. And I just sat there and ate it.
It's such a joy of life to sit down and eat something really delicious, especially if you made it.
Yeah, yeah.
You said you got an organic chicken, and it's another thing I would really suggest people pay attention to what they're buying, the quality of the meat, the vegetables. Get good ingredients, and it's half the battle.
Totally is. That's what, because I don't consider myself that great of a home cook, but I try to source good ingredients and then just let them, do the talking for the most part. But I'm still always trying to learn and do better myself. The way I handle my cooking is like throughout the week, I'm trying to eat as healthy as possible. And like in the morning, this is like my routine. I don't know what yours is, but I have like a homemade protein shake. And then very often I have what I call an egg bake. And I take, this is probably not the best of all things, but I get a carton of egg whites, which, whatever, from Costco. And I bake it in the oven. And I mix in whatever I decide to do that day. Maybe some sauteed onions, maybe some raw ones, maybe some kimchi, maybe some nutritional yeast, maybe some leftover potatoes, maybe salt and pepper, maybe some whatever. Not often I'll keep it plain, but I eat that and that'll carry me through the day. And what I tend to do is I tend to batch cook something that'll last me the week which will be some type of protein and vegetables. So that's like my thing. It's not too often that I make something that, like, I don't follow a recipe almost ever. But when I do, it's nice to make something.
It's cool. It's another thing I tell people. It's like, learn to be an intuitive cook. Figure out what you like.
Right.
If you know a little bit about it, to saute a chicken breast or roast something, flavor it up the way you want to. Make sure that you're following how you want to eat. And if you have to look something up on Google or whatever for a technique, go ahead and do that. But pay attention to your culinary soul.
Yeah, I like that. Something that I've done too. You got kids?
Well, they're probably older than you are now.
But you do have.
Yes.
Like, I don't, but I have my mom. And what I've been doing with her, because she's a great home cook, like she's from Portugal originally, so makes like phenomenal home cooking.
That's amazing.
And like she's taught me a lot of the good home cooking foundations. But what I've been doing with her is recording her making dishes so that I'll have it forever. Not
That's
just
a really great
handwriting it
idea.
down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've done that or anything. And I've even done it when like other people, like friends and stuff, when I have a meal, I'm like, can I come record you make this? And like people let me do it. And I don't post those. Like those are private videos that I save and I store. But when I want to make that dish, I watch the video.
That's pretty cool. It's like a digital index card.
Yeah. And it helps a lot because I don't know with you, but like I've looked at recipes before and then have made them after somebody's given them to me and it's not the same. And they're missing some of those steps. Right, some of those little things that make it.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do. That if you've done this recipe for a long time, and somebody asks you to write the thing up, there's things you do that you don't even think about.
Right.
So to get it exactly, it's pretty tough.
Right.
So that's a great idea.
Yeah. So that's like something I've been working on. It's just building my home cooking library. One that I just made. I don't know how you feel about it or not, but I really liked it. It's a Portuguese-style rabbit dish. And
I love rabbit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Me too. I just made one, and it's a very simple one. I'll tell you, too, just to see. And the first thing is the rabbit. You take it, you cut it up, and then marinate it, however long you want, in white wine, garlic, and salt. And I think I did it overnight. I think it might have ended up being 2 nights. I can't remember. But then I took my Dutch oven, put in some butter on the stovetop, and then browned both sides of the rabbit. And after that was all done, dumped in the marinade to deglaze the pan. And then in it, I don't know how common this is outside. I don't see it too often, but it has cinnamon. You add in some cinnamon and then some tomato paste. It's supposed to be saffron, but you can use safflower or a paella mix or whatever, and then add water to get a sauce and let that cook for a bit. My mom says let the flavors marry.
Yep.
So you get like a sauce there, and then put the rabbit back in with some potatoes, and then put it in the oven and cook it for about 50 minutes, and then 10 more on broil without the lid.
That sounds pretty wonderful.
It is, and it's not. Did I miss anything in there? Maybe like, I don't know, paprika or whatever. It might tweak a couple, but it's nothing too crazy. And I love that dish. I just made it for the first time. I made it the first time without my mom recently, and then I tried it with chicken instead of rabbit because it's a rabbit recipe, and it was still delicious. I just wanted to see.
I'm sure the cooking technique is super classic, and you're sealing in all the flavor, all the juices of the meat, and it just kind of melts together.
Yeah, that's a great one. I just made that one, which was good. So you like rabbit too?
I do.
What's one of your favorite ways to prepare it?
The parts of the rabbit are they're very different.
Yes.
So what I found the best way to do it is separate the front legs, the back legs, take the loins out of the back. Those are the prime part, and brown them up really well, and cook it almost like chicken cook them in with some sear pork products off, lots of onions, carrots, celery. Put the rabbit back in, deglaze it with the red wine, and then some kind of stock, and
Red wine.
Yep. And just simmer it till it's tender. A Dutch oven is one of the best things to cook it in. And when that's just about done, I'll take the tenderloins and, season them up a little bit and sear them in a pan so they're not overcooked and they're still real supple and delicious and tender.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I forgot too. The recipe doesn't originally call for onions, but I saute the onions when I'm doing the deglazing. I added that in, but yeah, that's not the original recipe.
Onions are my favorite vegetable. I love them in everything. Yeah,
I know. Almost nobody says that, but that's the vegetable I've eaten most of. Every dish for me starts with sauteed onions and garlic.
Onions or shallots or scallions in Asian cooking. Yeah, they add so much to everything. They've got a natural sweetness. They've got a powerful allium flavor, and just really, whether it's a sauce, a stock, a roast,
You're the first person I've heard to say that other than myself. Favorite vegetable being onion, but I know it's an overlooked one when you ask somebody their favorite vegetable.
It really is. There's been a few times where I've made myself caramelized onion tacos.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, just finish them off, put them between a toasted tortilla, put a little some kind of cheese on it. It's great.
That sounds great. So now, one thing too. You kind of mentioned steak. When you do a steak, how do you like to do it? Barbecue, smoke, oven? What's your?
Well, ideally, it does depend on the cut of meat, but ideally, I would do it over a wood fire. But that's kind of hard to do in a lot of places. We live in an apartment now. We can't have a grill for fire safety. So I've been doing a lot of them in searing them in a cast iron pan. Yeah. And if I do them on the stovetop, always seems to set the fire alarm off. So what I've been doing is taking the cast iron pan, sticking it in the oven on broil, and once it's really hot, the steak is up to room temperature, season it up. I'll throw it in there in the oven and give it a really good sear. You get the broil heat coming down, the hot pan on the bottom, so it's like a two-way heat. And it's been working pretty good. You get that nice crust on it, seals in the juices, and been pretty successful with that.
That sounds good. And then do you just do salt and pepper or
depending on the cut of meat, I like a little more flavor. So I'll try to at least 3 or 4 hours ahead of time, a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, shallots, garlic, either like thyme or rosemary, and just let it stuff. Yeah, just kind of steep it in there and scrape it off before you throw it in the pan.
Make me hungry.
I know, I'm starving.
It's hilarious. So do you watch, or has there been any cooking shows that you've enjoyed watching, or is any of that?
I love Top Chef. I watch Beat Bobby Flay pretty regularly, Chopped. Being on both of those, you really appreciate what's going on.
You've been on these?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about this.
For several years, I kept sending in applications and trying to get on something there, and it was a long process, and it was really perseverance that I got my first Zoom interviews with them, and it was kind of a process of going through interview after interview, and they do background checks on you and all kinds of stuff, and it was like a 16-page application.
Holy!
And I probably filled it out 6 or 7 times over the years.
Holy moly!
And then I finally got called for the Beat Bobby Flay thing.
What is that? I'm not sure if I've seen that one.
Bobby Flay, the chef, he really, kind of runs the food channel almost. He has a show where 2 chefs competed out like a 20-minute cook-off with a secret ingredient to see who's going to compete against Bobby Flay. And the chef that wins brings his specialty dish, and Bobby Flay's got to cook that and make it better than you, and there's 3 judges.
Interesting.
And I finally got on there, and we were trying to figure out what dish I had to make, and we went through 13 different ideas before the producers said, okay, that'll work. It's been on the air for 8 years or whatever, and they had hundreds of shows.
Right.
So a lot of stuff was done before, and then some things wouldn't translate well to visual television. So I finally settled on a Hawaiian kind of a surfer garbage plate called Loco Moco.
Really?
Yeah. It's rice on the bottom, a fried burger patty, fried egg, and some gravy over the top. But I kind of refined it a lot. It did the Spam fried rice on the bottom.
Right.
Ground my own beef blend on camera to make the burgers. I did short ribs and chuck, and it was really pretty tasty. So
That sounds
did that.
awesome.
Made more of a reduction demi-glace for the gravy instead of just gravy.
Right.
So it was super rich and had some really nice farmer eggs, fresh orange yolk eggs for the top.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty good, and I beat him.
Oh,
It was a pretty big deal. Yeah,
You beat the other chef or you beat Bobby?
both.
Come on.
Yeah.
Beat it, Bobby.
Yeah, he was really great. I mean, they were really gentlemen. I'd met him a couple times at different events before that.
Yeah,
And the whole experience was amazing.
That's unreal. Where was it filmed?
New York City.
No way.
Yeah, it was the people and the crew, the staff, the producers were super professional. Really made you feel comfortable. Went out of their way to make things work for everybody. It was a really cool experience.
So to beat Bobby, there's judges, and then do they know whose dish is whose?
No, they don't.
Interesting.
Yep.
So they don't know, and then is it literally 3 judges and they each pick their favorite and you win by 2 if you get at least 2 of the votes?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch this show, and I'll have to watch.
It's pretty cool. Some of them are better than others. A lot depends on what the first round secret ingredient is.
Right. So what was your first round? What was that?
It was shishito peppers.
Okay. So what'd you do?
I
didn't know this before.
No, and they're really strict about keeping things secret, not knowing anything. Bobby Flay is completely in the dark what he's going to get challenged with, and it's really, there's a lot of integrity in it.
Interesting.
And so I did a salmon appetizer where I got some king salmon fillets and cut like a little 4-ounce piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
I made a shishito pepper puree, like a really smooth, rich sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Roasted shishito peppers.
Are those, sorry to interrupt, are those the ones that are hot sometimes and sometimes not? Or
Probably 1 out of 10 of them is spicy and hot.
Right. Okay, sorry.
I garnished it with a saute of shishitos and a smoked sausage, like a little kind of a relish on top, and some creme fraiche, a few herbs.
That sounds delicious.
It was pretty amazing. They couldn't believe I pulled off like this restaurant quality dish in 20 minutes without knowing what I was working with.
That's how long you get to do it, is
Yeah.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
20 minutes is not a long time to cook something.
Nope.
It takes me 20 minutes a lot of times to prep.
There you go.
Maybe longer. Probably longer.
Yeah.
And you pulled it off from start to plated.
Yes.
That's wild. That's impressive. Do you know the season episode you're on?
I don't, but the episode's called Going Loco.
Going local. Loco. I'll have to take a look. Beating Bobby Flay. Sounds good.
Yeah, that was it's a interesting process because you're really cooking for 40 minutes against Bobby Flay and 20 minutes in the first challenge. But I was there for like well over 12 hours doing the background roll, the interviews and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was really interesting to see. It was kind of grueling. The cooking was the fun part. The rest of it was like, you've got to talk in the present sense, even though you did this 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they were very patient because I kept screwing that up.
Yeah. Content creation.
Yep.
I get it for sure. Yeah, that's interesting. How long ago did you do that?
It was just before COVID. It was on TV.
Okay. Interesting. And did you say Chopped as well, or just?
Yeah, I did Chopped last fall.
No way.
Well, it was filmed a long time before that, but
It got posted.
got posted last November.
So I'm pretty sure I've seen Chopped at some point, but remind me which one that one.
And that's the 4 chefs compete against each other, and there's 3 rounds of mystery baskets.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you like 4 or 5 ingredients in each basket, and you don't know what it is until you open it up. And each round is like 20 minutes of cooking. They have an incredibly well-stocked pantry and coolers and meats and things that you can use. And that was like packing 3 Bobby Flays into, an afternoon of cooking.
Really?
Yeah.
So how does that go? The first round is 4 chefs. And is it elimination?
Yep, each one's eliminated
Interesting.
as the process goes on.
So I don't know if I ask you first how you did or what your first basket was.
The baskets, I can remember only a few things because
Right.
it was really crazy.
Yeah.
And the challenge, it was like a tournament style one. And it was a Julia Child's challenge. So I really love French cooking. That was my first like real serious training in fine dining and stuff. So I had a pretty good background on it. We had everything from like venison steaks to and mock scallops. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So how'd it go for you?
It was 2 rounds. I won the first round, so I can say I'm a chop champion.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. And then the final round for the prize was either $25,000 or a 2-week trip to France to cook and, tour Julia Child stuff and eat some restaurants.
Right.
And I got knocked out in the elimination round.
Good go, though. Solid.
Yeah, it was cool. I wouldn't change the experience for a second. And then, once again, the people on the crew and production and, the judges were really great. It was really like so much stuff going on that they don't have time to show that was really interesting and really amazing.
And where was that one filmed?
It was in New York also.
Yeah,
Actually in Brooklyn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's the next show you're going to go on?
I'm trying. I don't have anything solid yet.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
I just recorded a small cable TV cooking show in Niagara Falls. I hadn't heard of it before, but the host reached out to me, Lori Casso. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
No.
yeah, it's called Cooking with Friends. And she had me on and we made a pizza and it was a ton of fun. I mean,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In the beginning it was nerve-wracking when I was doing local TV, at first I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to do it, so I kind of learned as I went, watch tapes and see how other people do things and see my mistakes when the things were aired. So
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So what else is in store? You're here in Western New York is it till the end of the week?
Yeah, it's the end of the week. I've got one more cooking class left. Going to spend a little day or two with family and take care of some other stuff I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be back in August for a set of cooking classes at another venue.
Sweet.
So I'm trying to set up a dinner or something else to help the finances and whatever. So
I like it.
Working on a couple things down there. Definitely taking a couple months off to do things that I want to do.
Is doing a book in your...
I really don't think so.
No.
There's so many cookbooks out there with so much money behind them by people that are so much better and more knowledgeable than I am.
Yeah.
So it would be a tough company.
Yeah. I know. That's an interesting one. I was just curious because that's cool that you went on the shows for sure. I have some lighthearted questions that I end podcasts with, but before I go to that, is there anything else that we should touch on?
Possibly. Cooked at the James Beard House like 5 times, which was one of the best experiences of my life in New York City.
What's that?
James Beard was like kind of the father of American cuisine and dining in America. And after he passed away, Julia Child and a bunch of other food people, magazine writers and stuff, turned his house into like a food-centric place for study, for cookbook collections, for chefs to come in and show off. Mm-hmm. And they also do the annual James Beard Foundation Awards, which award everything from regional chefs to best chef in the country, best cookbooks, best magazine articles. It's really centric on great American cooking, whether it's regional or fine dining or ethnic, and they do a really good job of pushing it. And I had the honor of cooking there. The greatest chefs in the world have been there.
Really?
And it was
that's pretty cool.
It was amazing. Get there
and
in the
you've been
morning.
there 5 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was a couple of them were on sort of short notice. Somebody had to back out, and they wanted to fill the date, so I got to know a couple people there, and told them if you ever need anything done there, please let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And other ones were specific to the restaurant I was working at.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is putting you on the spot or not with something, but Buffalo restaurants to try. If you were to I don't know if like sometimes when I ask people this, they don't want to get into that or not for all different reasons.
I'm sure I'll miss a couple, and probably hurt somebody's feelings. But I just ate at a place called Prescott Provisions in Tonawanda. It was actually really awesome.
I haven't eaten there yet, but it's on my list. That one's been recommended. That's a nice place.
It was. I've heard a lot about it, and it more than surpassed the expectations. Really good job. Every dish we had, and we had a lot of food.
Mm-hmm. It's not cheap there.
I thought it was reasonable.
It's reasonably priced. Okay.
For what you're getting and the quality of the ingredients and the time it takes to make these things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't balk at the prices at all.
Yeah.
I like Marble and Rye a lot.
Me too.
That was great, and the hospitality there was really, really amazing.
Yeah.
Eh,
That's one that, sorry to interrupt, Krista Glennie told me about that one. It took me a bit to get there for a pizza review because they open later, and a lot of time of the year I'm battling sunlight. I don't do my videos when it's dark. What time do you have to leave here? Are you still good?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah,
Yep.
so when I go over there, like they open at 4 or 5, so it took me a long time before going over there. But when I went there and did pizza reviews there, I was really impressed. I really want to go back. That's like, I had a couple of drinks after, and the drinks were great.
You got a great cocktail program.
Yeah, and I was talking to, I forget the gentleman's name, and he was kind of giving me some insights about how they make homemade a lot of stuff there, and I'm like, I have to come back here.
Yeah, they do a lot of like local food, farmers and things like that, and he does a great job. He's so dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place kind of off the beaten path on Forest called Danielle.
Danielle?
Yeah, and they do it's kind of a pizza, but they call them pinzas.
Mm.
And it's like a partially pre-baked crust, but it's really fluffy and crispy and really good. It's very different, but all the food is pretty good over there.
Mm-hmm.
For Asian food, I really like Saigon, Bangkok. They have a couple locations, and it's mostly Vietnamese and Thai, but it's one of the better ones around.
Sounds good.
Fast food. Let's Be Frank on Kenmore Avenue does like really good hot dogs and hamburgers and.
Let's be frank.
Yep.
Yeah.
And their fries are incredible. We talked about Jay's Artisan Pizza. That's really great.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few Asian places that are really small family things. Home Taste on Delaware Avenue in Kenmore.
Mm-hmm.
They make all their own dumplings, dumpling skins, noodles, and it's really tiny. They do a decent amount of takeout, but like the noodle dishes especially are outstanding.
Mm. Okay. I'm taking notes.
And trying to think of a few other places that really stand out for me.
Pizza?
Pizza, Jay's, Sienna in Williamsville does a really good pizza in a wood oven. They were one of the first people to have one.
Sienna?
Yep.
I haven't been there yet. In Williamsville?
Yeah,
Sorry?
it's right on Main Street.
Yeah.
Cafe Aroma does a really good wood-fired pizza.
I haven't been there yet, and I feel bad because
They were one of the first ones to do it too.
Yeah. What are they called again?
Cafe Aroma.
Yeah, I've spoke to them, and I haven't gone yet.
For chicken wings, I really like Gabriel's Gate.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah.
I've gone there. They were good. How are you not 500 pounds?
I recently lost probably about 25 pounds or so.
Good job.
Yeah. I got a really sweet tooth, and it wasn't unusual to go home after work late at night and knock off half a box of Oreos or, a pint of Haagen-Dazs. But, my blood sugar was getting too high. I wasn't feeling great, so I pretty much cut that all out. And
Where's some good desserts in Buffalo?
Oh man,
Or sweets?
Butter Block on.
Oh, they're on my list.
Yeah,
I haven't
they're
been
amazing.
yet.
Colleen that runs it is probably the best croissants I've ever had outside of France.
Really?
Yeah, they were incredible.
I follow them on Instagram. I haven't been yet. They're like, I have to space all these things out.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'll live long enough to try all the foods I want to.
yeah. One of my favorite chocolate places is in Lancaster. It's called Antoinette Sweets. Are you familiar with sponge candy?
Is that like the crunchy chocolate bar?
It's chocolate coated. It's kind of like if you took toffee and aerated it,
Yeah,
so it kind of
yeah.
melts in your
I
mouth.
love
They
that
have the
stuff.
best. It's
Really?
really great. Yeah.
Antoinette's?
Yep.
Where is that? Sorry?
It's on Transit Road in Lancaster.
Transit Lancaster. Holy cow. What's that chocolate called again?
Sponge candy.
Yeah, sponge. Okay. What about donuts?
Oh, you got to go with Paula's Donuts.
Paul's?
Paula's, yeah.
Paula's. Yeah, I've had those. Those are great. Great.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other dessert shops. I'm sure I'm missing them. A lot of the good restaurants have really incredible desserts.
Mm-hmm. These are a lot. Any other notable places overall at all?
Have you ever been to Southern Junction?
I don't. Is that a pizza place?
No, it's a barbecue,
Oh, okay.
and it's the owner is Indian descent,
Yeah.
and he uses a lot of Indian influences and
Ooh.
flavors in his side dishes and things.
Yeah.
Besides the barbecue being some of the best around, the side dishes are just incredible. Really great.
Interesting. I've been hanging out more with my one buddy that's all into barbecuing and smoking and stuff. So I'll see if he wants to go there because he's told me of a couple places he wants to go to over the border. That might be one of them.
In my experience, it's probably the best that's ever been around there.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah.
Holy moly. What about, do you ever grab like a fast food burger ever?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Where?
Well, one thing I really like there is the subs. There's a place in Kenmore on Delaware Avenue called Mike's Subs. It's been there like 50 years or whatever. And I don't know what it is about them, but they're just really good and really kind of a little sloppy. They use like a ton of shredded lettuce,
Right.
mayonnaise, oil. Those are really good. Burgers. I'm not adverse to stopping at Burger King or McDonald's or every once in a
Grab a
while.
Whopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quarter pounder or Whopper, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're made fresh and not sitting in the pile,
Yeah.
they're pretty good.
They're decent.
Yep.
They'll do the trick.
Yep.
I feel ya. What about like a good burger spot too? I don't know if you mentioned one.
Oh, I'm kind of at a blank right now.
That's all right.
Prescott has a.
No problem. All good. You got a sneeze coming? Just let her belt. It's all good.
It's gonna be edited, right?
No, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all part of it. I can grab you a Kleenex or something.
I've got something here. Get it out.
There you go. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Oh, sorry about that.
No problemo.
All right. Prescott's has a really good burger. The ones that said at Frank's, Let's Be Frank,
Yeah.
were like kind of smash burger style.
Yeah.
And I had one with lots of cheese, caramelized onion, mustard. They have really good rolls there. That was outstanding. I know that I'm
Yeah.
missing something really,
It's all
really
good.
wonderful.
Before pizza reviews, I did hundreds of burger reviews. So
Wow.
I tried a whole bunch. At that point, I wasn't going over the border to do them. So I did them primarily in Niagara. And my favorite one when I was doing it is at one of my favorite restaurants in St. Catharines. I'm sure you would like this place if you ever want to change it up, especially right now with the dollar being how it is. It'd be pretty affordable because the prices are, I've gone there before and had meals for under $70 with like having somebody with me, and but I've also had like $700 bills because like you can go in and get a burger, a chicken sandwich, some like truffle fries or whatever, and like keep it reasonable. Or they have like oysters, bone marrow, like big plate.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Odd Bird. And when I was doing my burger reviews, like it really stood out. I don't know if I knew or not, but it's not common over here for places to grind their own meat. So they were grinding their own meat, which was a nice touch, and using a brioche bun. And like back when I was doing the burger reviews, I did them all the same. It was lettuce, onion, and pickle. I wouldn't even get tomato because tomato out of season.
Yeah, you're going to get some waxy,
Yeah.
pink-looking sorry thing. Yep.
Yeah, because then all my reviews where people were actually using tomatoes in season during the summer months would have such an advantage.
Right? That's a good thought.
Yeah, that's when I was doing it, and they did such a great job. It was a smash burger, that they did on a flat top. But there's a few places around here that are pretty good. I've been considering just coming back and doing 4 burger reviews to see who would be the best between them. There's a place in Niagara Falls that also grinds their own meat and they make their own pickles. It's called WTF Burger in Niagara Falls. And then there's a food truck in Niagara Falls that makes a really good burger. And then there's a place I haven't been to yet called the Berg and Thorold that a lot of people say is the best burger around. So,
Really?
Yeah, but those are,
You got to do a burger challenge.
I think I have to just go and do those for 4 and see who gets crowned by, just by me, but which doesn't matter too much. But I'm curious to see which one would come out on top because, I think those are probably the 4 best in our area over here. But I have, like I said, I have some of these lighthearted. Unless there's anything you want to touch on, I'm open to anything.
Not really. A couple of them. I'd like to mention a couple of restaurants that really made a big difference in my career.
Yeah, I like it.
The first one I worked at that was a real chef was called the Pierce Arrow. It was kind of a late night and nightclub, but like a fine dining restaurant. And a guy named Chef Norman Hart and the sous chef Bobby Komarauer, and really kind of, he was almost like the Marines, kind of broke me down before they built me back up. And, I thought I knew some stuff and what I was going, but it was another world. Norman was like a competitive chef. He did food tours and things like that. And Bobby worked in some really great restaurants in California first. Mm-hmm. And, man, they broke my balls.
Yeah.
For the first few months. And
in Buffalo.
Yeah, he was outside of Buffalo in Amherst. And,
gotcha.
It'd been really easy to get mad, but I respected them so much that I wanted to show them and I didn't want to disappoint them. And I ended up really kind of like changing my attitude and really doing a lot better trying to work there. And then I went to, at the time, Buffalo's best restaurant was called the Rue Franklin. Classic French. Everything was super French. It was only open for dinner. And it was a tough place to work because it was really detail-oriented and it was like very tough in the kitchen. The owner was always there, always criticizing, always kind of guiding. And
perfection, searching perfection.
Yeah, trying for it.
Are they still open?
No, they retired and sold it. It stayed open for a few more years, and then the guy that bought it ended up closing it up right around the COVID or whatever. But it was the experiences I had there, the flavors, the new things. First time I ever had foie gras, pheasant, certain kinds of mushrooms. It just really changed my life. And from there, it kind of bounced around a little bit, but I ended up at a restaurant called Oliver's that's still there. And the owner, Henry Garino, was really like my true mentor. He really kind of guided me and then cut me loose and let me be really creative at the same time. And he put a lot of effort and money into doing publicity for the restaurant and letting me be, like a real chef. And I was there for about almost 10 years. And I got to credit.
Wow, that's a long run.
It is. I got to credit that restaurant and Henry for really kind of making the start of, everything I did after that.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
So just had to say a thank you to all those people because they really kind of molded and guided me, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah, that's amazing. And was Oliver's the last one that you worked at?
Yeah,
You're
before
doing
we
the-
opened Tsunami.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's sweet. Yeah, that, I mean,
All right,
this,
let's
yeah, yes.
hit the quiz.
These are some lighthearted ones that I end with everybody. So this one, I love asking this to you, even though I like asking everybody. I hope you're never on death row for any reason, but if you were, what would your last meal be?
You know, I think about this often. Like every chef talks about it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It's well, you know, everything from interview question to late night bar talk between cooks. I think it would have to start with foie gras.
Mm-hmm.
Then go into probably a roast duck or a duck breast, and a nice salad on the side. It's real simple, just a nice French vinaigrette, and then one of my wife's desserts.
How would you want the foie gras done?
I would like a really perfect terrine and just a side of French bread and some mustard.
Sounds good to me. I haven't had foie gras in a bit. Now I want to get it soon because it's been a little bit. I've never made it. I should try to make that one time and see. I'd probably screw it up though. But
It's really easy to screw up, and it's really kind of expensive experiment.
yeah, I'll have to try it at some point. Maybe I'll have to get somebody that's experienced to do it. So that sounds like a really nice meal, but that's it. Like me,
What more do I need?
I like me. I would if I was on death row, they wouldn't kill me because I'd eat myself to death. If it was my last meal, I would just keep going. But that's a good one. And what about the drink with it all?
That's a tough one. I gave up drinking a long time ago after the motorcycle accident. So I don't know, sparkling water,
Yeah,
sweet iced tea.
and maybe a drink if you're gonna die anyway, but maybe not.
Yeah, just give me a cheap vodka on the rocks, make it a double.
That's hilarious. I love it. What do you like on your pizza?
Cheese, pepperoni, sometimes onions.
I like it. And in Buffalo, I like the way they do the onions. They kind of, I don't even know what that cut would be, but they're more lengthwise versus chopped. Over here, when we get them, they're more chopped into.
Yeah, they're usually sliced really thin, so they can get a little crispy, but still flavor the pizza.
Yeah. They're definitely done better over the border. The favorite pizzeria, if you want to answer, I ask this one.
For a wood-fired so-called gourmet pizza, I'd have to say Jay's, or Jay's Artisan.
Yeah.
And I've been getting an Imperial Pizza on Main Street quite a bit lately.
Imperial's great.
Yep, between them for just like a classic Buffalo pizza, Lovejoy was really good.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do when you're down in Florida for pizza?
It took a while to find a couple, but there's a place called Death by Pizza that does really good pies. And we just went there the first time a few weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be a standard.
Nice.
and
What style is it?
And they have both Detroit and New York style.
Okay, good.
And there's a place right across, kind of kitty corner to us. It's an Italian restaurant that does a pretty good pie.
So you got some options because I've heard Florida's not.
Oh
not
God,
known
we've
for
had
their
some
pizza.
awful displays of pizzas.
That's funny. Favorite kind or era of music?
Classic rock I listen to mostly, but still kind of a punk rocker at heart.
Nice. I like it. This one's a little bit more deep. Meaning of life.
I guess it's to be decent to other people, bring up the people around you,
I like it.
make them smile with good food and hospitality.
I like it. If you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
There's a lot of places I want to go, but I would love to get back to France again.
And what part?
Well, we spent 2 weeks in Paris. I I would like to go to Lyon, I think.
And eat some foods.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's one of the culinary capitals, you know. They just, the home of Paul Bocuse, Daniel Boulud, just so many classic restaurants there.
Love it. Best piece of advice you can give anyone.
Learn to be financially responsible at a young age.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I would say that's good. Young age at any time. I think a lot of people struggle with that one for sure. I was also going to ask you, I want to peel back. I was going to ask you if anybody's looking to become a chef or work in the industry, what advice would you give them to? Maybe that, I'm sure that same piece, but maybe something else specifically for people, young people looking.
I would say make sure you're dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you realize that you know nothing and you're going to learn something every day.
Mm-hmm.
And try really hard to learn something every day and work on really good knife skills.
That's good. So be open-minded.
Yeah, you have to be. I mean, there's so much stuff out there and so many different styles of cooking and so many different ways to do it. And there's always somebody you can learn something from.
I like it. Well, that leads to this one. Who played a big role in who you are today?
Well, my parents quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but most of all, my wife.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she stuck with me through thick and thin, almost dying in a motorcycle crash, restaurant successes and failures. We've worked together for like the last 30 years.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
She sounds like a keeper.
She definitely is. I hope I am too.
I like it. What do you want to be remembered for?
Hopefully that I made a difference in the Buffalo restaurant scene. That, I tried really hard to bring attention to it, to nurture what was going on there and help, other people in the industry.
Mm-hmm. I'd say from the time I met you just briefly to now, I'd be shocked if that's not what you'd be remembered for, part of it anyway. Yeah.
That's okay. There's always work to be done, though.
True that. What would you do if you won $50 million?
I'd travel. I'd probably get that out of my system and then open up a little, like 8-seat food counter that I could just make food for people I know and do whatever I wanted to, culinary-wise.
8-seater.
Yeah, maybe 8 to 10 seats. Just something manageable.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about food cost or labor cost.
Yeah.
So it could be fun.
Yeah. Just let the passion run and not worry about it.
Yeah, just be creative.
Yeah.
Get the ingredients you want to work with, things that interest you, learn different cuisines and ethnic cuisines.
Yeah. Would you rather live in the city or country?
City.
2 more. What is a life hack or hacks that you do? And an example of that is like one of the ones that I share with people that I do is I brush my teeth in the shower just to save time.
Okay, I shave in the shower, so it's probably along the same lines.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've gotten to be a really bad procrastinator lately, so.
Procrastination breeds efficiency, though.
This is true because you're always at a short period of time. That's pretty a tough one.
Yeah, it's all good.
Just plan the things you got to do so you're more organized.
Yeah,
I write a lot of lists.
Me too. I give myself a lot of things. I have a task list every day to accomplish. Don't get to all of them, but
then sometimes I lose the list.
That's hilarious. Last one. Favorite movie?
I think I have 2, and they're really, really different. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Interesting. That's a classic.
Yep. And David Lynch, Blue Velvet.
I don't know that one.
It's a pretty bizarre film featuring Kyle MacLachlan and Dennis Hopper.
Okay. What's it called again? Sorry?
Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet. When did that come out ish?
It's got to be at least 25 or 30 years old.
Okay, 25 plus years. Gotcha. I'll take a look. Blue Velvet.
Are you familiar with the series Twin Peaks? Used to be on TV a while ago.
I've heard of it. I don't know if I've seen
Okay,
it.
it's kind of similar to that, just really strange.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, gotcha. I'll take a look. I'll throw it on one day when I'm working and see what it's all about. Mike, this has been great.
I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get together again, maybe share a meal.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yes,
I hope so. Because you're going to be back, you said, in September?
August.
August. Yeah. I definitely hope so. That'd be great to break bread somewhere. Or
Fantastic.
Yeah. Even maybe one time cook together, but we'll see. We'll see what we can pull off.
All right.
If people want to find you, is there a spot? Do you use any of the social medias for them to see what's going on?
On Facebook and on Instagram, Real Mike A.
Real Mike A?
Yep.
Because I'll be tagging you in this too. Real Mike A. That's a lot easier than how do you say your last name again?
Andrzejewski.
And you said that's Polish.
100%.
I went to my first Dingus Day this year and really enjoyed it.
It's a wild time. It's a lot of fun.
I went to the small one though. I forget which one. The next year I'm going to go to the bigger one in Buffalo. I went to one maybe in North Tonawanda, maybe.
Buffalo gets pretty wild.
Yeah. I got some really great Polish friends, and I had a couple join me, and I want to go again next year. But Mike, this was great. Real Mike A. I really appreciate you coming all the way out to Canada, to Wainfleet. Thank you very much. This was fantastic.
Joe, it was a great time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love talking about food above all else. So, it was a really nice afternoon.
I appreciate it. Thank you.